Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks, buckle up because what we're about to discuss could be one of the most intriguing moves in the NFL this offseason. It's not just about a single player or a random trade rumor. It's about the strategic shifts that could define the NFC South for years to come. And naturally, we're talking about the Atlanta Falcons, a team that's been steadily building and trying to find that perfect mix of talent and grit to finally break through to the playoffs and maybe, just maybe, make a deep run in the postseason. But to understand that, we need to look at a recent development that's been making waves across the league, especially among Falcons fans tuned into the latest NFL buzz. Recently, news broke about Treylon Burks, the former first-round pick of the Tennessee Titans, who's been recovering from a serious injury but now has a clean bill of health, at least according to reports from NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. That's right, Burks has been cleared for all football activities after battling a broken collarbone that sidelined him during training camp. Now, this is a huge deal because Burks, coming out of Arkansas, looked like he had all the tools to be a star. He finished his final college season with over 100 yards and 11 touchdowns, which is impressive by any standard. But unfortunately, things didn't quite pan out in Tennessee the way many hoped. In just 3 NFL seasons, Burks managed to amass only 699 yards and a single touchdown, a far cry from the explosive potential he showed in college. Why? Well, injuries played a significant role, and he also faced the challenge of adjusting to a revolving door of quarterbacks and inconsistent offensive schemes. Let's not forget, his rookie year was promising, but subsequent injuries, including that torn ACL in October 2024, hampered his development. It's a story that many NFL fans are familiar with, talent hampered by misfortune and lack of stability. But now, with that injury behind him, and the fact that he's been cleared to play, an intriguing possibility emerges. Could Burks find a new home where he can finally tap into his potential? And here's where things get even more interesting for Falcons fans. The Atlanta Falcons, as we all know, have been trying to solidify their receiving core. Despite having Drake London, who's shown flashes of brilliance, the depth at wide receiver has been a real concern. Darnell Mooney is currently injured and struggling to find his rhythm, Ray McLeod has been underwhelming, and Casey Washington, along with David Sills, are mainly depth options at this point. In fact, the Falcons have been operating in many games with Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts, often out of their natural positions to serve as the WR2, which is far from ideal for a team with playoff ambitions. So, bringing in someone like Treylon Burks, a player with size, YAC yards after catch ability, and the potential to be a true deep threat, could be a game changer. Sure, he's not coming off a spectacular NFL career so far, but talent like his is worth a shot, especially for a Falcons team eager to bolster their receiving options and diversify their offensive attack. Remember, the Falcons have been trying to build a balanced offense that doesn't solely rely on London and Pitts. They want explosive plays, versatility, and most importantly, a reliable second option to take some pressure off those two stars. Now, let's pause here for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. The fact that Burks has been cleared to return to football activities opens up a lot of possibilities. The Titans, having drafted him high but never quite getting the production they expected, recently released him from injured reserve. That means he's now a free agent, able to sign with any team that shows interest. And for the Falcons, with their current receiver situation, adding a player like Burks makes a lot of sense. He's still only 25, and his size combined with his YAC ability makes him an intriguing reclamation project. Despite his underwhelming statistics in the NFL, his college numbers and physical tools suggest there's still untapped potential waiting to be unlocked. Plus, considering the Falcons' current roster, they could really use that kind of boost. With Darnell Mooney injured, Ray McLeod not providing enough, and the depth options not exactly inspiring confidence, Burks could step in as a versatile weapon. The team has been relying heavily on London and Pitts, which is understandable given their talent, but football is all about having multiple threats on offense. If Burks can regain even a fraction of his college explosiveness, he could become a crucial piece in Atlanta's playoff push. And don't forget, with a new coaching staff led by Arthur Smith, who's known for his innovative offensive schemes, there's a real opportunity for players like Burks to thrive if given the proper development and confidence. And speaking of development, it's worth noting that Burks' injury history and inconsistency have been the main hurdles so far. But a change of scenery, perhaps landing with a team that's on the rise and has a clear plan for utilizing his skill set, might be just what he needs to jumpstart his career again. The Falcons are in that position now. They're building something special, and adding a player with high upside like Burks fits perfectly into their strategic plan. Plus, with the NFC South being so competitive this year, every move counts. A player like Burks, if he can find his groove, could be the difference maker in key games down the stretch. And let's not forget, the Falcons are looking to make a statement this season. They've made some solid offseason moves, bolstered their defense, and now with a more dynamic offense, they can really challenge contenders. Bringing in Treylon Burks might seem like a gamble, but in the NFL, sometimes you have to take those calculated risks to achieve greatness. It's about betting on talent, on potential, and on the belief that with the right coaching and opportunity, Burks can become that game-changing receiver everyone thought he'd be when he was drafted. Now, for Falcons fans, this is the kind of move that sparks hope. It's about seeing your team actively seeking out ways to improve, to add depth, and to find those hidden gems that can elevate the entire roster. It's about believing that this team, with the right pieces, can finally break through that playoff barrier and make some noise in the postseason. And with Burks now available, it's a move worth watching closely. Will he sign with the Falcons? Could he be the spark that transforms their passing game? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure. The Falcons are in a position to capitalize on this opportunity, and fans should be excited about the possibilities ahead. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. Do you believe Burks can turn things around? Would you like to see him don the Falcons' colors and contribute to this promising season? Remember, your voice counts, and we love engaging with all of you. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. We're in this together, and every piece of news, every development, brings us closer to that ultimate goal: a Super Bowl appearance and maybe, just maybe, another Falcons victory parade. Thanks for being with me today, Falcon fans. Keep the faith, stay passionate, and let's see what the future holds for our team.